For their complete listings. And on Store Machine 12 sheets of deer, all just match your core.
Radio 92.7. Listen to that. That's the sound of power and the call of the open road. That's the sound of the newly designed 2019 Indian Chieftain Limited. Yeah, Indian. It's more than a bike. It's an experience and an American icon. The place to find it, Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga, along with their entire new 2019 line. The open road is calling. Answer the call. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign on 153 and Nicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Hi, this is Scott Schrader. Tune in Saturdays for We've Got You Covered. From finance to fixtures and all things in between, when it comes to your home, we'll help steer you in the right direction. We've Got You Covered, 10 to 12 every Saturday on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Come see the Chattanooga Zoo transformed into a magical winter wonderland. Visit the animals and watch them open their gifts. Have your picture taken with Santa Claus, play holiday games and make crafts, or just enjoy the beauty of the zoo covered in lights at their annual Holiday Lights event every Friday and Saturday night in December, right up until December 22nd. It's the most wonderful time of year at the Chattanooga Zoo. For ticket pricing and information, go to chatzoo.com.
92.7 Nooga Radio.
Good morning, Chattanooga. We are here live. And guess who we have in the house? Miss Kim from CWLI.
Hello.
Let's dance it up. Come on, Kim.
You make me do this.
It's the Chattanooga Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show, guys. We are bringing you all things through information, resources, and people. We connect you with things to help you live your best life right here in Chattanooga, Hamilton County, and the region. Good morning, Chattanooga. We are here this morning with Miss Kim. I'm going to give that Campbell Schumpert. Am I saying that right?
That's Schumpert, but
Schumpert.
We're used to everything.
Potato,
I'll respond to
potato,
everything.
right?
I've even been called Trumpet. It's okay. I will respond.
Is that kind of a potato kind of thing?
Kind of.
It is.
My husband takes it in stride. I tell him I love him
it.
a lot because I think his name. I went from Campbell to Schumpert. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's
love, right?
That's real love. Well, you know, this morning I am excited on this day because we are talking with some female power up in the house today. If you're out there and you're working at your cubicle, maybe you're working in an office. I don't know where you might be, in a warehouse, but wherever you are, if you're a female, we're just going to say shout out to you.
That's right.
Today. I'm going to say we have a lot of power up in this house today. We've got you here with CWLI. You are the executive director, and we've got Commissioner Sabrina Smedley. I need one of those round of applause. Woo! You know, she is doing some things out there. You know, the thing about her, I got to say this as a female, she always looks great.
Oh, right.
Like she's always in a suit, always something nice. It can be freezing outside and she looks the
See, I have issues with that as a descriptor of women, you know, a little bit, because mostly if I'm not being selfish,
Right.
but really it's just selfish because I
Right.
can't ever seem to get that put together. But I've just given up the ghost.
Me
it's all
either.
right.
You know, I've learned just to get the jacket on and go.
That's
but
right. You just got to go.
Today, we are here today to talk about a few things. Now, you came on the show last week and we talked about race relations. We're going to jump right into it. The CWLI is the Chattanooga Women's Leadership Institute. With that, it is a group of women who've come together from all walks of life. And basically, it's an organization that empowers, gives you leadership skills, but you see stuff about them all over the place doing things. Now, the reason you came back today, the reason I had you back is because I myself have been challenged with joining. I told you that, right?
We talked about that.
I didn't say it on the radio last time, but I am today because we're bonding and we're learning how to be a little more honest with each other. But the CWLI did not represent me.
Right.
You know, I've got a husband who's an African-American. I've got an interracial child. And I'm just telling you, when I looked at CWLI, I didn't feel invited. Even though I knew some of the women and I love them, it just didn't make me feel a part. However, I kept my eyes open. I kept watching. And then you and I start communicating and you tell me this is going to change and it is changing. So we're kind of picking up where we were. Why is it changing and why is CWLI now? And I know that you've been striving for this, but why is it all of a sudden, and maybe it's not, but all of a sudden it's for every woman in the city, county, and region?
Well, I'll tell you. So it's a start. I do want to say that. I want to say it's a start because I will not pretend to say that we're blazing out going to solve this issue. That's not the posture we're taking.
And let me say
we
thank
can't.
you because you can't, right?
But we do have a platform to have a conversation about this.
Right.
And it's an important conversation because, you know, it's a female conversation. We talk a lot about the difference between equality and equity. And one of the examples that I've been thinking on since our last conversation was, I don't know if you've seen this. There was this cartoon that I came across that was a group of children who were up against a privacy fence, and on the other side of that fence was a baseball game. And what you saw from looking at the cartoon was there were two different versions of this cartoon. One version had all of the children on, none of them could see. And so equality says,
couldn't see over the fence.
They couldn't see over the fence. Equality will say, let's give them a stool so that they can participate. But what happens when you've got children of different heights? When you've got children of different,
like my 6'1" kid,
right? A kid who's disabled, they can't stand on the same side of the school, right? A stool. So we've got to make sure that the stools are different sizes so that everybody gets a chance to participate.
So your foundation may look different from someone else's.
That's exactly right.
The tools that you stand upon may be different.
That's exactly right. And the tools that and that's what I see our role is. We provide the different size stools so that everybody gets a chance to be a participant in their own life. That's equity.
I love it. And there is a difference, equity and equality. And I've seen that a lot on Facebook, but we really need to emphasize that.
We really need to. And we've got to not only emphasize it, we got to stop talking about it. We got to start doing it. And that's one of the biggest differences that we're launching out with in 2019 is that we're going to have tiered offerings through CWLI, because all of those stools need to be different sizes because we're all at different places.
So to the listener out there, the female listener or the husband who is listening and wants to share with your wife, again, they're looking at CWLI is looking at changing things, providing a tiered offering to people, correct?
That's right.
And in that, it's an effort to become more inclusive. I'm going to call somebody out right now, Assistant Chief Donna Vaughn. I'm going to call her out in a great way, obviously, but she and I have talked, and then she was engaged last time when you were here, Kim, and something I said that I'm getting now that I didn't get then, and I want to make sure I say that, as a person on this microphone, people are listening. I'm going to say that my mind and my perception is changed about CWLI.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It really is. And I can't not tell the truth. I can't not share that, Kim.
Well, and I will say, I need to give a shout out to our board because we've done the tough work. The board of this, and Dana Vaughn sits on our board.
Shout out
and
to
she'll
Dana
tell you, that's
and
right.
the board.
And there's so many so many dynamic women who sit on this board. We've got 24 dynamic women who are all leaders in this city who have come together, and they wrestled with some really tough questions at our September board meeting.
I'm sure.
And we said, what is it that we've got to be about going forward? And I think you asked me the last time about the Me Too movement, and my comment about that was that it's a little splintered. And where I think that we've got a lot of potential there to really gather around and unify, we've got to all figure out what we're for. We can all kind of agree about what we're against.
Yes.
But we've got to figure out what it is that we're all for together.
Well, CWLI, and the reason I was going to bring up Assistant Chief Donna Vaughn is because I had a comment, and I made this comment that day, but it said, it sounds like you guys are meeting the woman where she is. And here's the thing. I want to see women in CWLI. I want to see women from the trailer parks. I want to see women from the projects. I want to see entrepreneur women. I want to see women that look like you and me, women that don't look like us. I want to see that expansion for CWLI. And that's why I've invested in making sure you're having that platform. So I do want to make kind of a call to action. If you've looked at CWLI, let me back up. In order to be more inclusive, you have to bring more people to the table.
You do.
Right?
You do. And you have to understand, one of the things that I noticed real quick, right off the bat when I first came on as executive director, was that no two women look alike. And we have a lot of transition. We have a lot of women in transition. And that's more the norm than the woman who's going to find a career and stay with it for 30 years.
You're right.
And so that's why we have the tiered option, first of all. But secondly, we've got to be real cognizant of what our partnerships look like. And we've got to elevate our platform so that people are attracted. So it may not always be CWLI that can solve all of your problems, right? But through our partnerships, and that's the name of the game today. I would say if there's anything that's really, really different, is that I feel like we're getting a better understanding of what our collective impact is, right?
I agree. I agree. And in that, when you think about the changes you guys are going through, Kim, change is not easy. So you're still having to make sure that you're focused on your base that is already there, right?
That's right.
But when you think about, I want to give a shout out because we got Ronell Flemings on
Hey,
Facebook.
Ronell.
Hey, Ronell. We've had goodness, Donna and a few other people. So we just want to thank you. Hey, Donna.
Hey, ladies.
Hey, Janet Rouse from Saudi Daisy. Thank you, ladies, for joining in.
Absolutely.
Again, we're here with Kim Kimball Schumpert. She is the CWLI Executive Director, and you're here on the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. I do want to make sure we give this call-in number. If you're out there and you have questions about CWLI, where they're going, and this is a conversation about race relations. When you look at CWLI, for me, I can say again, my plan is to join January 1, get my application in and join. And I'm saying that out loud because when you have a voice and you put your money where your mouth is, you will get questioned about it.
And I want to say it's not fair to criticize if you're not also willing to jump in and get your hands dirty to help resolve it, right?
And for me, it was, and I know you know
and
this.
I appreciate that.
Yes, it was never a point of criticizing. I know you know that.
No, I know that.
But it was a matter of bringing to light, right? But when I started seeing people who look like me and people who don't look like me involved, I said, let me go back.
Right.
And Julie Cook, I got to give it up for Julie Cook because she's professionally stalked me. Can I say that? Julie has professionally stalked me, or I say borderline harass. I'm kidding. She's actually done it in a great way. But really, she's just said, Donna, it's really great. And I've watched her, I've watched Dana, I've watched you, I've watched Ronell. So women, if you're out there, CWLI, the Chattanooga Women's Leadership Institute, let me say this. You don't have to have a business to be a part.
You don't. And let me go back and stop you there for a second,
Please
because what you're describing with Julie and with others is pursuing, right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to feel like they are pursued.
Yes.
That is
it makes me
my
feel special.
heart's desire for you to feel like where you are in your life. Because again, we've got a lot of women going through transition, and I have a particular heart for single moms and for women who are going through divorce and who are really making all sorts of transitions all at one time. They especially need to feel like they are pursued and that they're valued.
Yes.
And I think that that's true of everybody. So whether you're talking racially, whether you're talking gender wise, to me, that's the real issue, right?
Yeah. So, hey, if you want to call in this morning and talk with Kim, with CWLI, or myself, the number is 423-800-8949. If you're out there with CWLI and you're a board member, or you're on the CWLI committee, or anything that you're just a member, give us a call today. We'd love to talk with you. Love to hear from you. Again, 800-8949. I do want to talk about something with Nooga Radio real quick. Do you know any first responders?
I do.
I know a lot of them. Let me think. My dad, I always mention
God's
my
work.
dad. I'm telling you, but my dad was 36 years with the city fire department.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine that, right?
That's amazing.
So that's all I know, but I'm going to call out a few people. We have a guy named Ball, Jen Ball, and I can't think, just throw a blank, but he's on Air Force. You got Carlos Hampton out there, and he's not so much on the front line anymore, but he is a first responder and leading. But reason we're saying that, Kim, is First Responder Friday is something we are doing now at Nooga Radio.
Oh, fantastic.
Right. And, I think somebody needs to submit Dana Vaughn's name or something, right?
Absolutely.
But First Responder Friday is where Nooga Radio says, hey, thank you for all you do. If you have someone you want to nominate, please do. You can send the nomination to noogaradio@gmail.com. And they get a prize pack from Nooga Radio.
Oh, that's awesome. What a way to prop
And we
them
need to get you some mugs or something in that prize pack. Can we do that?
Sure.
Something from CWLI.
Okay. I'll
Put
see what
some
we can do.
female power in there,
That's right.
So with that, we're joining here with Kim Schumpert. She is the CWLI Executive Director. We're talking about race relations. We're talking about how we take something like CWLI and turn it into something, evolve it into something that's truly for every woman in the city. This is not an organization you have to have a business. You don't. You can be retired. You can be a consultant. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be any woman, any female, and be a part. The membership is $120, but I'm going to let Kim talk about that. I'm telling you, $120 now, that is a lot of money for some, right?
Absolutely.
And, but for some, it's not. And I've even heard a couple of people say they paid their payment in 2 payments. You know what? They'll work with you guys.
We absolutely will. And you can pay monthly. You can, for as little as $10 a month, you can come and take part in all of the stuff that we have going on. And you are not going to get access. You are not going to have the full force of an organization that's working to compile the type of content that we try to compile in our calendar anywhere. You're going to pay so much more to try to go out and access the people that we can bring together just by virtue of the fact that we've got a strong name behind us and a strong group of women behind us.
So it's something I want to touch on with you, and I'd like to know your thoughts and opinion. So I saw an article on Facebook, and they were congratulating. I'm so sorry it can't come to me right now what the award was, but it was a philanthropy award, pretty big deal. I'm just drawing a blank. my challenge with it, and I'm going to call somebody else out because she put a post out and she's that kind of person, is okay with it. But LaQuisha shared that post as well, LaQuisha Ewing. And my concern is this. I saw this great platform that the wonderful couple who started the school, right?
Right.
I mean, great people. Santosh, I can't think of his last name, So these were some people who were recognized. The problem I have with it, Kim, great that there was a female there, but there was no person of color.
Right.
And again, when CWLI is looking at what they're doing, the basis, some of that is we need to look more like the community we serve.
You're so right about
what
that.
What do you think about when you see articles?
We have come under, so I love that you're bringing this up right now. I'm
actually, you know which article I'm talking about,
yes, I know which article. In fact, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And in fact, I've been marginally involved with that event as well through the Association of Fundraising Professionals.
Wonderful.
And so, that's, again, some of this is, all of that happens on a nomination process. And I'll say that I've had the same challenges. We've had women. So what we're doing internally at CWLI is that I don't feel like, and we talked about this last time, I don't feel like that you deal with inclusion by setting up a separate committee. Right?
No, ma'am.
You deal with inclusion by making sure that your leadership is representative of the city that you serve.
Exactly.
And so that's where we have started. These last 6 months, that's exactly what we've been doing. We have been recruiting and we have been talking to women and we've been making sure that we are being intentional, not just because someone is a person of color, but because they bring a skill set.
Yes.
And they are they are a value add, if I can say that, because of the color piece of it all.
Let me jump in there because I'm going to tell you, looking outside, the outsider looking in, Again, find it hard to believe that this is a nomination process, not at you, of course, but that you, didn't have a person of color.
And that is my point, because we haven't normalized it in Chattanooga.
There you go.
And so I grew up in my career in Little Rock. And I will say, I've spent a lot of time thinking about this since the last time you and I talked. And over Thanksgiving, my husband and I spent some time in Little Rock, and we kind of revisited some of our friends and family there.
And we talked about some of our family and some of their
beliefs. That's right. We did. And so, I grew up in Chattanooga, and I moved to Arkansas for 20 years. And when in the time that we were in Little Rock, I was part of some really dynamic work. We lived in a revitalization zone. My daughter was the only person of color in her preschool. So she was the only white girl in a class of 40 other kids.
Wow.
And we loved it. We loved the experience. I say all that to say that Little Rock have had to face this issue. And this is just my personal opinion. I think that Chattanooga struggles to face this issue because we haven't been forced to do it yet. And we haven't seen the type of leadership that I observed. These are my observations.
Absolutely.
But Little Rock had leaders who they marched with Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And they kept that, they've got the history of the Little Rock 9 event. And it's just steeped in so much history that has forced that issue. And when it forced the issue, it normalized it for the culture. We haven't done that here.
And I hear you. And I'm going to kindly disagree with you. Okay. I do think we have those people here.
Okay.
I think the Franklin McCaulays, but I'm going to say it honestly. Some people, when I speak to my friends of color and I talk about Franklin, they're like, oh God, whatever. He's this rich man on a platform. So I have to take that into consideration, right? So I do think that we have what you had in Arkansas. What I think is we're just not there yet. This sounds very simple, Kim. We're just not there yet, but I think we have the people and the resources.
And I think that this is something that I want to be challenged on. I say this to say for myself. I want to get in touch with more of the African-American leadership in Chattanooga.
Okay.
And this is where this is part of my reasoning for creating this platform at CWLI, because there needs to be this intersection where we can have these conversations and have this civil discourse.
I agree with you. And so that's something I'm going to announce today, that, we are talking with you about being a contributor on this show, right? We've already talked about it, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do it. Right?
I would love to make that happen.
Yeah. So the reason why,
we have some good conversation.
we do. And, it's real transparent conversation. And let me say this, everything is not about making sure everybody I can't do that kind of, I can't save the race. I'm not trying to. But I also can't make sure that people of color are at the table. It's not just people of color. It's women. It's people of color. It is the underserved. Let's make that clear. The underserved, for the way I see it, are women, minorities, and vets. What are we doing in the city to really challenge people at that level? We've got about 2 minutes on the show, Kim, and I want to make sure that, when we say we want you as a contributor, I believe that your voice matters here in the city. I believe, and since my name is on the show, I have to make good decisions here, but I believe you coming on, once a month, talking and giving updates, but also helping women navigate. What I like about you is we had this conversation. I need the listener to hear this. We both have families, members that we talked about at Thanksgiving dinner and whatever, that they say things that are just crazy. And you're like, am I really related to this person? Like the DNA can't be there. Right. But it's a change every day to do better. Chattanooga, Hamilton County, it's a day today to look at how do we live our life? How are we living our best life? Am I including those who are underserved?
And how are we helping those that are going to help us lead?
That's it. That's it. So guys, when you think about this show, I want you to know, I keep saying it. I feel like I've got the best gig in the city. Like, to get paid for talking is it's a great thing. If I can figure out how to do this 40 hours a week, I'm gone. HR, I'm out of here. But it's people like Kim that make this show great, guys. The Chattanooga Midday Show was created for you. It's a voice to bring people, resources, information together. It's a platform to give to people like CWLI, organizations that are doing something. So if you want to get your event, your message out there, Kim, this is where they do it.
And get involved with CWLI and other organizations, because we're all better together. And we've got to make sure that we have access and that we're meeting one another. I can't do what we do, and if I don't have the right leadership in the right spot.
Well, Kim, you are dynamite. I'm telling you, I'm glad to call you friend now.
I appreciate that.
Julie, I'm going to give Julie Cook Davis a shout out. You got to connect people. That's what it's about. They call me the Queen
Julie.
Connector. Did you know that? I'm the Queen Connector. But again, I love this show. I love what we're doing here. And when you think about CWLI, when you think about women, when you think about, just where we've evolved. I remember, 5 years ago, looking at kind of the opportunities ahead of me, thinking, this is going to be such a road ahead of me. But once I started locking arms with women,
That's right.
Oh my gosh, we started locking arms and I started seeing that women are for me.
And we've got to get back to that place. People want to see us splintered because we aren't good when we're splintered.
We're not. But you know what? We have had a great time today. Let's dance today. Ready? Dance now.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. This is the Chattanooga Midday Show with Donna, Kristen, Lowe. And guess what? We're bringing you everything to help you live your best life. Isn't that right? That's right. All right. So stay right here. We're coming back with Commissioner Sabrina Smedley. It's a female power hour. You got to come back. We're talking about Giving Tuesday as well. We'll be back.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
3 kids arrested in Dunlap after a string of car burglaries. Dunlap police say a woman was awakened by dogs barking, so her husband went to check it out, saw someone rifle through his car, hop into a white vehicle, and make a break for it. Later, an officer arrested 3 juveniles at a convenience store sitting in a stolen Mustang. The 3 faced auto burglary charges. The TVA is suing local property owners to force them to allow construction of TVA infrastructure. The TVA wants to build a 5-mile power line from the Sequoia nuclear plant to a new planned substation. However, Greg Vital owns some of that land and tells WTVC that the power line would ruin his property value and condemn his farm. And Ronald Allred, the director of the Sam Warner Military Museum, indicted on theft charges. The DA's office in Mont Eagle says he sold a large amount of military equipment valued at over 6 figures. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Chattanooga State brings you Dinner of Firsts, presented by First Tennessee and Morning Point. The event will be a roast of community leader David Wade, who's a first-generation college graduate, and will be held at the Chattanooga Hotel on Thursday, November 29th. Proceeds of the event fund scholarships for first-generation students. Those roasting David include Todd Crawford, Joe Ferguson, Richard Rogers, Steve Rogers, Justin Wade, and Aaron Webb. For more information about Dinner of Firsts, visit chattanoogastate.edu/DOF.
I live, work, and play in Chattanooga, the scenic city. But when it comes to my next car, truck, or SUV, I'm Alabama bound. Fort Payne, Alabama, and Landers McClarty Ford. Big city selection of new and pre-owned vehicles with the small town price and friendly service. Now, I'm not knocking my hometown, but when it comes to my next ride, I only go to Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. Their selection is huge. Then if I can't find what I want, they'll find it for me with the same low price, same great service, and only a short drive away. And I can go online to look around before I leave the house. Got that next dream ride in your head yet? Yeah, you do. Get a head start at Landers-McClarty-Ford of FortPayne.com. Don't just dream it, find it at Landers-McClarty-Ford of FortPayne.com. That's right, Landers-McClarty-Ford of Fort Payne, Alabama.
Whether you have marginal, moderate, or even extensive hair loss, you don't have to live with it. Finally, there's a procedure that becomes a part of you, and it requires no daily maintenance or special care. Let Apollo Hair Systems give you a free hair and scalp analysis today. Call 423-803-1011 and schedule this free evaluation today. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Apollo Hair Systems, 5512 Ringgold Road in Chattanooga. 423-803-1011 for Apollo Hair Systems.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Well, let's take a look at the naughty and nice list. Well, let's see here. There's Sonny, and there's Deb, and even Eddie made the list too. Well, let's look at the naughty list. Well, there's Billy and Greg. Ho, ho, ho. If you think you're on the naughty list, stop by Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds and get 70% off select merchandise in the store. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, 5301 Brainerd Road, Chattanooga.
It's that time of year again for you and your family to create special Christmas memories aboard the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum's iconic North Pole Limited. These magical train rides have been festive family traditions since 1999. During this holiday season, why not bring your family to Grand Junction and enjoy the lights and sparkle aboard the North Pole Limited on an imaginary journey to the North Pole. Along the way, you'll be treated to refreshments, storytelling, Christmas carols, unique gifts, and lighted Christmas displays. And once the train pulls into the North Pole, a special visit from Santa. The 2018 season kicks off on November 17th with both day and nighttime rides through December 29th. To reserve your seats today or for more information, go online to tvrail.com or call 423-894-8028. The Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum would like to wish you and your family a very happy holiday season.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga roofing contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga roofing contractors, a roofing company you can trust. Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need AMCO Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. AMCO Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that anywhere.
Nooga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
If you would like to nominate a first responder for First Responder Friday, email noogaradio@gmail.com. noogaradio@gmail.com.
Nooga Radio 92.7's First Responder Friday.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
After a few morning clouds, expect some sunshine, but continued breezy and cold all day for your Tuesday. Highs only to the upper 30s to near 40. Tonight, clear, the coldest night of the season, lows 20 to 23. Wednesday, sunshine, lower 40s, increasing clouds Thursday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listing. And I'm Swargene Schwal, Chief Meteorologist, Patch Report.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Good morning, Chattanooga. Get us in the studio. Come on, Sabrina.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Put my groove on this morning.
We got that girl magic going on. Yes, we are dancing into Chattanooga Midday Show with Donna, Kristen Lowe. We're bringing all things, people, information, and resources to you to help you live your best life, Chattanooga, Hamilton County, and the region. We love you. Why? Because we can. All right, guys, we're talking all things county commissioner today. Let me say, Sabrina Smedley is in the house.
Honored to be here this morning, Donna. It's so exciting to be here on your show and just see how how much you've got going on.
Thank you.
I've known you for many years now.
Yes.
And I've seen you get into TV and now radio. So it's just an honor to be here with you today.
I appreciate that. Now, this is my launch month. So they told me you better get some rock stars.
Uh-oh.
So when I lined up you, I was like, when they told me you said yes, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we are.
well, it's an honor.
Well, we're friends, but one thing I do not do is assume.
That's right.
And I take the role that you play very seriously. When you have connections and those resources, you learn how to manage that.
Right. Absolutely.
And, I don't just call up and say, hey, Sabrina.
Right.
I need you to do such and such. It is a professional partnership that I just respect for
That's
you.
Right.
Thank you.
And you gave me a lot of options, which was a good
Thank
thing.
you.
Yeah. It's a
Thank
busy
you.
time of year.
It is.
A lot going on.
Well, and that's what I want people to hear. We are launching this month and we're making it big. We're getting all the great people here. But Sabrina, at the end of the day, these are just relationships. Right?
Absolutely.
These are friendships I've built. And I am thankful again to Chattanooga Radio 92.7 to be able to be paid to talk is almost comical to me.
Well, they're lucky to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, the reason I have you on today is one, because, we don't have many females in our offices right now. We have you. We have Catherine Jeter. Right. Who just came on.
Right.
And then we have Carol Burrs on the city council. And, so with that, I've got to have some power women on here. But I can't just have anybody on my show, Sabrina.
Oh, I understand.
I've got to have women who are about their business. So with that, one thing I've always admired about you, and you're going to say, oh, Lord, but you always look the part. I just love a lady who looks nice, right?
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment.
Yeah.
So
and at the same time, we as women, we shouldn't have to feel like we got to get dressed up. But I just say, hey, you look the part.
Well, thank you.
And I love my purses and my shoes and all that good stuff.
So, well, nothing like a sale. Like my husband always says, we're going broke saving money when I find those sales.
I love it. So with that, let's talk about your role. When did you get started? You're the county commissioner for District 7.
District 7. That is East Brainerd, all of Appleton. I have a segment of Ottawa and Collegedale. I share Collegedale with Commissioner Bankston.
Right.
So
I'm in Harrison. You're not in your district, but I'm on the back side of your district.
That's right. You're District 9, our neighbor, which we work very closely together because there's a lot going on in those two districts, a tremendous amount of growth.
Yes.
So we have to collaborate and work together very closely, which we do. But I did run in 2014.
That's right.
At that time, there was not a female on the commission.
And you and I remember sitting at lunch at some Sunday dinner or something one time, and you were running and you were kind of nervous, but you were hopeful.
Yeah. Well, that was a very contested race for me. I ran against 4 other guys. It was an open seat.
Say that again.
I ran against 4 other guys.
Guys or males?
Males.
Yeah, just want to clarify.
Yeah, males. Guys, males, whatever.
We just want to clarify.
But, so it was highly contested. And I was very new to politics. I didn't know what it meant to run a campaign.
I remember people saying, she's so nice.
Yeah.
Will she survive?
Yeah. Well, they found out real quick that I was a little tougher probably than they thought I was.
Yeah.
From the beginning. But after 8 debates,
they didn't
my
see
God,
you coming.
8 debates.
They didn't see you coming.
Well, I had to run a business.
Say that, by the way, I can say that. Right. I know you're not going to, but I can tell you. I remember the campaign. They did not see you coming.
Well, I just stood on the truth. And, I had a long history of standing up for property rights, being a realtor, a long history of standing up for property rights, being very active and involved in my community. In different events and different organizations. So I did have something I could point back to and say, hey, I'm not Johnny come lately. I've been here. I've been here for years.
Don't get it twisted. I always say, don't let the suit fool you. Right. Don't let my suit fool you because I'm going to get in there just like the men. But let's talk on the flip side. You're an entrepreneur. That's what I love about you. I love when I see a council person or a commissioner that has that experience. So you, before the politics, you have been a real estate agent for how long?
I've been in the business about 15 or 16 years now.
Yeah, I have several friends you've sold houses to and all that good stuff. So what are you doing with your business now? It's thriving, it's succeeding, but what are you doing right now? Like what's hot for you in real estate?
Well, we're really busy. Right now, the market is hot. We have a shortage of homes. There's extreme demand. So it's driving the prices up. And just to give you an idea of what's going on in the market, our housing prices here locally just went up another 12%.
Ouch.
The problem is our income only went up 3%. So there's a huge difference there.
I'm not a mathematician, but I can do the math there.
Right. Right.
Wow.
And I don't know if you've been paying attention to the rates, but throughout this year, the rates have relatively been around 4%, 4.5%. Now they've gone up to 5%. And there's a prediction that we may see them go up as much as 6% next year. So that's concerning to me.
It is. It is. Now, I am going to say this because you are my friend and because it is my show. I love saying that.
Right.
But if people are out there looking, I see somebody online here right now that's on Facebook, and I was sharing with her the other night. She said, I want my son to buy a house as soon as he's out of college. He's about to graduate. So what's your information? If you are out there, absolutely. I'm going to say connect with Sabrina to buy your house, to buy that property. But where can they reach you for the real estate?
Okay. Sabrina Realty. It's so easy to find. You can Google me. The key is to spell my name correctly. Sabrena. Everyone wants to say I-N-A.
I have that capitalized in my contacts because nobody spells their name like that. Say that again.
Sabrena. Sabrina Realty. We're centrally located right off the East Sprinter Road exit. As soon as you get off the exit, we're right there on North Concord. Is the road that cuts back to the mall. But easy to find. But you can Google me. You can get my cell phone number, my office number. I love working with first-time home buyers. And let me tell you, anyone that's got kids graduating college, you have to really promote them to buy a home and not to rent. Rental rates are at an all-time high.
So I'm going to say this. I'm not going to call my friend out. I see her on the feed, but she said that exact thing. She's trying to make sure her son does not get out of college and go to rent. In fact, she said, live with us.
That's right.
Until then. So listen to it from Sabrina Smedley here in real estate. If you are someone young or not getting ready to buy a house, reach out to her. It is a hard market right now.
Well, and I love working with first-time home buyers and taking them by the hand and walking them through the entire process. I have great lenders, great home inspectors, people I have built a great relationship over the year.
So what about people with some challenged credit? That too?
We can get them in credit repair or anything. I have resources for all of that.
I love it.
Let me tell you, it's not as hard to buy a home as some people may think. There are loans out there with very little or zero down.
Wow.
There's down payment assistance loans. There's especially for first time home buyers.
So guys out there, I know we're here to talk about the commissioner role, but what I like is that it's not her only role, and that's me. People talk about, my God, you're everywhere. You know what? I'm thankful I can be.
That's right.
So I want to make sure I'm promoting and empowering women on this show. So guys, we'll make sure and get this on my personal page and the Nooga Radio, so anybody from a real estate perspective, please reach out to her.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the politics. Now, there's something I'm going to talk about, and you agreed to talk about it today. My dad used to say something like this: Donna, you got to be a lady. Few things a lady does. She has a set of pearls.
Yeah.
Right?
You're wearing yours today.
I am, my Barbara Bush pearls. But the other thing he used to say, now, Donna, you cannot be a lady and hold a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other. Come on. How are you going to be a lady? Now, that was my dad's take. But here's how I'm going to transfer that in contrast. You cannot be behind a diocese for a city council position or a county commissioner as a female and be an ugly female. I know that's hard. What do I mean? You got to be pure. You got to be pure to the cause. You got to be a lady at all times. You don't forsake your lady card for a politician card.
That's right.
Why am I saying that? You know what? I'm going to tell you, Sabrina, I got a challenge with anyone, but I'm going to specifically speak about women. If you're not coming to the table to empower women, take your job serious. That's why I like you, Sabrina.
That's right.
You take your job serious. I'm about my business.
Yeah, I do.
The pictures and stuff are great, but let me say this. I'm going to say it like this for me. The greatest moments in my life never make Facebook.
Right.
Ever. My trips, my precious moments. But for you, Sabrina, talk about the ethics of a female. Now, I know it's no different, right?
Male and female. No different.
But we should hold ourselves to a higher standard. If I'm doing something in the community, you're my friend. I hope you'd pick up the phone and say, Donna, have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
Right. But talk about that. The ethics behind the diocese, what it takes to be a woman of character. And as a county commissioner or city councilman.
Well, and I'll say this, Donna, I have very strong faith. So everything I do starts with my faith and my personal relationship with Christ. And so that leads me and directs me. So being ethical, trying to always be truthful, trying to always be honest with my constituents is easy because I'm trying to, continue building my relationship with Christ.
So it's not so much about the person first. It's about you and your relationship, right?
And that guides me in everything I do.
And I'm so sorry. Everybody doesn't believe in God, and that's okay.
That's right.
Whatever it is you believe in, but as a woman in politics, you have a new standard you must adhere to.
Well, and we were created, with a free will. And so for those people, that choose not to believe, we have a merciful God that allows you to do that. But it all starts there for me.
Okay.
And this was a huge decision for me to ever run for office in the first place. Back in 2014, I was still fairly a newlywed. I'd only remarried, been married for 2 years. That's right. I was a single mom for 10 years.
You threw him in.
Well, we started meeting with community leaders once I was asked to run. I had a number of people call me, reach out to me. And so we met with different community leaders, and there were just things that lined up and confirmations that you could not make happen, to where my husband came to me one day and he said, "You're meant to do this."
Wow.
And that was like the magical words.
Yes.
Once I knew he was on board, we were all in, and there it began. But I'll tell you, I ran for the right reason. I thought, what can I do to impact my community in a positive way?
Right.
And kind of what I had been doing already, I had been an advocate for my community.
I remember seeing you, we saw each other at different chamber events,
right.
And not just chamber events. We saw each other doing the hard work.
Right. Well, this was an opportunity to take that advocacy to the next level and to start making those decisions. And I'll share this with you. Every Wednesday, we meet every Wednesday, 9:30 at the courthouse. And every Wednesday on my commute in, I have this little ritual I do. I listen to my gospel music, and of course I pray.
I love
it.
I
pray for guidance and wisdom, and just to, temper my words with wisdom, and to make the right decisions and do my homework. I always do my homework prior to our meetings. Go prepared and try to make the best decisions for the folks of Hamilton County. Even though I represent District 7, the decisions we make weekly, they impact the entire county.
And that's a critical point. But as a female, I'm going to say this, there are opportunities, just like males, to be dishonest.
Right.
There are opportunities. I'm going to tell you again, in my role, I do hear a lot.
Well, politics has a bad rap right now. I mean, it really does. And you hear so much, and it's gotten so brutal on a national level, even a state level. And you can see that on a local level.
You can see it on a local level, but I'm going to challenge the females out there to do what you do and do it in great decency and order.
That's right.
Be about your business. One of the greatest compliments I've had was one of my bosses said, "Donna, you should have been a man."
Right.
I'm not sure what you mean. Is that a compliment? Yeah, the way you come in and just do your business.
Right.
So now I'm like, that's a great compliment. But to the council person, to the county commissioner, the female behind the diocese, you represent all of us. What are you doing daily in your walk?
That's right.
What are you doing? Just like Commissioner Smedley said, what you do every day, of course it impacts your district. But let me tell you, as a female, females are watching you, and there's only good or bad. There's no in between. You're either doing the good work or you're not. And good work, let me say this, good work is what you're there to do. You're paid to do, so do your job. But on the flip side, what are you doing to truly emulate the image of a lady?
That's right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, and it's not about a suit or a dress. It's, am I truly executing and representing all women? I want to talk about something real quick. I know that listeners are out there, Sabrina, and they want to get their word out. We've had such amazing response to this show.
Yeah.
We cover Chattanooga, the region, and Hamilton County. If you want to get your message out, if you want to share an event, whatever it is, let us know. You can send us information at thedonnashow@mail.com. Did you know today is Giving Tuesday?
No.
Did you know that? It's the Giving Tuesday. So we see Wes Carr right now. You see Wes Carr?
Yeah, I see that.
Hey, Wes. So right now, MSI Workforce Solutions, as you know, we are partners with the Victoria Carr Foundation, and that's where we focus on domestic violence. Girl, we had a sold out event.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sold out at the Marriott, right? And so Wes
That's prevalent too, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. And for me, I see it walking in the doors of the workforce every day. So today, Wes, make sure you get that out on my Facebook, your Facebook. But Giving Tuesday, we would love for you to give to the Victoria W. Carr Foundation. We're going to continue that mission. We sold out a gala. Tells you that people want to focus on that. So other than that, Nooga Radio 92.7 FM, the Donna Christian Lowe Midday Show is all about you. It's your voice, Chattanooga, Hamilton County. So let's go back to, I want to give a shout out to the mayor, Jim Coppinger.
Yeah,
Hamilton
he does a great job.
He does an amazing job. Something you may not know, but he gave my dad his first job.
Oh, yeah.
Gave my dad his first.
That's awesome.
And so many people have that story, right? But talk about your relationship with the county mayor. How does that interact? I want to teach and educate people. How is that your boss? Are you his boss? How does all that work?
Oh, I totally respect his position.
Absolutely.
You have an executive branch and legislative branch of government, and the two have to work together. But I can honestly just say that I have a great working relationship with Jim Coppinger.
Yeah.
And it is because Jim Coppinger and I have a lot in common. We're both trying to make the right decision for the citizens of Hamilton County. But I love his conservative approach. I love the way he is fiscally responsible.
Yes.
You know, we have a AAA bond rating in Hamilton County.
Say that
We're
again.
one of the most fiscally sound run governments, county governments, probably in the state of Tennessee. And that is because of the leadership of Jim Coppinger.
That's right. And, you know, I'll say to Jim Coppinger, there's so many people out there that he has influenced. And going back to my original kind of premise of this show, it's being a lady behind the diocese, no matter where you are, be that lady about your business. And the thing I like about Jim Coppinger, our mayor, county mayor, is he really empowers women, period. He does, it's like you said earlier about skills. That's all it is about for him, you know. And when I've seen this man, I've watched him. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but we'll say we're in the 40s. But I've seen him. I saw him offer my dad a job, Bobby Gann, who was a chief of the fire department. So he gave so many people a good start. But more importantly, I look at Mayor Coppinger and he has remained ethical.
That's right.
He has remained responsible. And you don't hear about him in the news every day. And, you know, I appreciate the way he executes. But if you look at the commission, they kind of replicate the leader. And I like that. So talk about what's ahead for you, though. Are you going to run again? What do you think?
Well, I don't plan things that far in advance. I just went through my second election this year and, you know, just got reelected. This time it was a lot better because I was unopposed. So
I love that.
Like running that way for sure.
I think they were saying I'm not going against her.
But anyway, you know, I take it slow because a lot can happen. It's a 4-year term. A lot can happen over 4 years. And whatever I do, I want to do what I'm meant to do. So, you know, I don't want to force anything. I want it to be what God has planned for me.
Yes.
And no, you were talking about good work. I do want to add this because we're focusing on being a lady and that kind of stuff. Sometimes good work does require you taking a stand.
Oh,
and
say that.
Sometimes good work does require you to take a stand.
But when women take a stand, sometimes it's perceived different. A man, now, guys, please don't get mad on me today. Get upset with me. Please don't Facebook me or however. A man can do something and it's like, well, we do it. It's like we're being a witch. Well, a man can do something and he's a hero.
It's funny you say that. You know, when I ran in 14,
hey, there's a hashtag sorry, not sorry. Is that right?
That's right. You know, I had 8 debates and what you said is so true. Those. My advisors told me, they said, Sabrina, there is a fine line and it's tougher for a woman to figure out where that line is. Because you have to show that you're tough. You have to show that you have the grit and the resolve to do the job.
Because they're not going to elect you.
That's right.
It's so funny. They want us to be feminine and ladies, but at the same time, you better be about your business.
But if you come across too tough,
that's it.
You get tagged with
that's why I'm not in politics.
That witch work.
Well, that's why I'm not in politics. You know, David Bartow, I think it's still funny. He said, "Hey, Donna." I said, "Hey, David, I got to tell you something." I said, "What are you going to tell me?" He said, "I heard." What'd you hear, David? I heard you're going to be the first female mayor of the city. I said,
wow.
I said, whoever told you that lied. Because no. I believe I can do the great work just from right here, right? Yeah. I let people like Sabrina do that work. But I appreciate the compliment, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, back to my plans, I never say never. I just take it one day at a time. As long as I feel like that I am doing something positive to impact my community and leave things better for the next generation. That's what's important to me.
Yeah. You know, again, I'm going to talk about the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show. Guys, we help seize opportunities here. And I say it to the listener, I should never be on radio. I mean that. You can't be what you can't see, listener. So if you're on Facebook or if you're listening, you're on YouTube, we got all kinds of channels, multimedia platform here. Wherever you are, you can't be what you can't see. So for me, being on this microphone and being on TV, Sabrina, it is a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
It is an honor.
And you're a natural at it.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're natural.
Because this is not what I went to school. I have no education in this. But I do know this gifts and talents are to be used for the goodness of our people.
That's right.
And I can tell you, whether you believe in God, karma, or Buddha, we all believe in one thing. What you put out is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's true.
So in that, the Donna Christian Lowe Chattanooga Midday Show is all about community. Sabrina, I am so excited you came today. You know, we've launched this show this month. And so far, nobody said no.
It's awesome. That's awesome.
And we've got people coming on. We got the mayors coming on. We've got people like you. But we got people who are just normal, everyday people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We focused on some entrepreneurs last week. We had Mara Black Sullivan who kicked off the show. So we've just had some good power. So if you're out there and you want to get your message out, get it here. We got some good things coming up on Friday. Guess who's coming here Friday?
Who's coming?
Soddy Daisy cheerleaders.
Oh, wow. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. How are you going to pack those girls in here? cheerleader?
You know what? I don't know, but I was a cheerleader, so I
was
figure it
too.
out. See, we got that in common.
Too.
So we're going to have them here. It's a new Friday spotlight for community. So if you're out there and you've got a high school team or a Howard marching band, I've been talking to you guys. We want you here on the show. And yes, we're gonna pack you all in here. But all I know is those Saudi Days of Cheerleaders, I'm one of you. You better think of a cheer to bring up in here for Nooga Radio,
awesome.
right? So we're about out of time, Chattanooga. I am so glad you decided to tune in today because you don't have to. You don't have to, Sabrina. I'm just thankful.
Thank you, Donna.
You got to dance it out with us. Come on, Sabrina. Look, if she can dance, y'all can, right? Remember, guys, we're talking all things community, and we're connecting you to the people and the resources to help you live your best life, right? I want to help remove those barriers, guys. All right, this is Donna Christian Lowe with Commissioner Sabrina Smedley. Guess what? We're out.
Three, two, one.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
3 kids arrested in Dunlap after a string of car burglaries. Dunlap police say a woman was awakened by dogs barking, so her husband went to check it out, saw someone rifle through his car, hop into a white vehicle, and make a break for it. Later, an officer arrested 3 juveniles at a convenience store sitting in a stolen Mustang. The 3 face auto burglary charges. The TVA is suing local property owners to force them to allow construction of TVA infrastructure. The TVA wants to build a 5-mile power line from the Sequoia nuclear plant to a new planned substation. However, Greg Vital owns some of that land and tells WTVC that the power line would ruin his property value and condemn his farm. And Ronald Allred, the director of the Sam Warner Military Museum, indicted on theft charges. The DA's office in Mont Eagle says he sold a large amount of military equipment valued at over 6 figures. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
Nooga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
After a few morning clouds, expect some sunshine, but continued breezy and cold all day for your Tuesday. Highs only to the upper 30s to near 40. Tonight, clear, the coldest night of the season, lows 20 to 23. Wednesday, sunshine, lower 40s, increasing clouds Thursday. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Swargene Schwal, Chief of the All Dispatch Report.
Nooga Radio 92.7.
Even if you like your job, there are some things that can drive you nuts, like the anonymous coward who steals your lunch from the break room fridge, or maybe Tyler, the IT guy, who gives you that condescending look when you tell him that your computer is acting up again, as if somehow it's your fault. You put up with these clowns every single day. But what happens when you've had enough?